Alright guys, we got a 1983 Chevy short bed pickup. It started its life out automatic 350 and now it is converted to a 4BT Cummins. It's got a SM465 transmission and it's got the 205 transfer, no, yeah, I think 205 transfer case, don't remember, no, 208. The swap went well. We did the billet brackets so we could get the AC and the alternator and the belt tensioner off of a 6.0 diesel. And as you can tell, the coolant line, not a big fan of how it came out, but that's the only way we could get it to run with us tilting the motor that way. We had to maneuver some of the frame, and then we had to do a two-piece lower radiator hose. From there, we went to several car shows and we tried to avoid this as much as possible here. Not a big fan of this. Again, the options that we had was limited. It's got a new radiator in this, so we kind of went with it. We did head gasket on it, had the head milled, and that's basically it. We resealed the whole motor. Bought it out of South Carolina from a gentleman who bought it from a rolled Blazer, and it was basically a plug and play setup. It's got a vacuum pump on it, power steering. We got the Z-bar setup on it. The truck, like I said, originally was an automatic, and that's been a little work in progress. Probably would have been a little bit simpler if we would have went with the straight up or with the motor not angled upright and just had the factory cant, but we didn't like the way that looked. We've done a test drive in the truck twice now. The first test drive, the charge air pipe popped off. We didn't have the hose clamp tight all the way, and really didn't run great. I mean, it ran good. You know, basically you could tell you were running on just motor. Had a lot of axle wrap at the time. Not quite sure why, but on the second test drive, we got the charge air pipe tightened down, and it's got a little bit more pep than I anticipated. Someone's turned up the fuel a little bit. I didn't do it. I will be doing a fuel pin in it. One other thing I've noticed is that the factory throttle linkage wasn't close enough, so we took it out of my bread truck that I got where my 4BT came from. We had to do the new fender liners because these were rusted in the typical spots right here. Pretty much the only rust that was on the truck was that there, a little bit in the doors, just a tiny bit, but the fenders were both dented, and so was the hood. It was a real clean, straight truck. I think it was a 2-owner truck before we got it. We went ahead and converted it over to 3/4 ton front end, and we also did the 1 ton 14 bolt full floater rear end. Unfortunately, it's not the gov locker one. That was one of the things we realized when we test drove it. With these tires on it, it's not the best. So we did custom drive shafts front and rear, even though we put the transmission back in its same exact location. That was a little pricey. And we also, with the 6-inch lift in the 3/4 ton front axle, the brakes aren't the same. We figured they wouldn't be, so we had to go ahead and get custom made braided brake lines for it. And we're in Knoxville, and we have a really good shop that's out here, and it was about half the cost for all three than it would have been just for the two online. So truck runs good. You know, we don't have the axle wrap like we did on the first one. As you can tell, the shifter, it works just fine. You know, even though with us tilting the transmission, It's a little bit of a pain. We did lose the shifter linkage on the test drive. We don't have the transfer case hooked up yet. We had to lengthen that rod too. We're not quite sure why everything's so different. We have a gentleman out here by the name of Beach in Knoxville. He's got a big Chevy junkyard, and it's just nothing of Chevy trucks. And we've looked and looked, and we don't understand why we're off about 2 inches everywhere, even though we bolted it up in the same location. We did, but you can't see it just yet. If I angle it just, I'll have to go to the other side. We did have to re-alter the floorboard a little bit. Our biggest goal was to try to reduce the amount of cost. It's not that we were avoiding money, it's just we were trying to see how well we could do this one. But there you go, you can see with the interior light on, we had to re-alter this for the downpipe to clear. It's still a little close with this truck being so old. We had to do we've got to get the new body bushings in. That's them right there, because the cab sits about 1/4 of an inch lower than the rest. Like I said, runs good. We're going to be doing an 86 GMC dually 1-ton truck next. I'll do start from finish. It's a 454 automatic. You know, I want everybody to see just how it's going. I'd start it for you, but until I get that clutch linkage set up, I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. But we're close. I'm about to start on the ball joints and the U-joints and the brakes and get them going. So, alright guys, well, I appreciate it, and I'll be posting this soon. Again, 4BT swap. I plan on telling you everything and anything that doesn't seem to work or isn't as easy of a fit as everyone made it seem to be. I am a diesel tech on the side. Have our own shop, and everybody made it sound like we were just going to be able to drop this right in and go. Well, it isn't a drop in and go, I can assure you. It's a drop in with fabrication and money. But that's the way it goes when you're going to have a toy. This is one of many of toys that we've got. So, alright guys, the next video I'll send you of it starting, running, and driving down the road. Alright, thanks. Bye.